The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome. I'm Maricela Kelaton. This is TV1 News.
And I'm Jasmine Jack. Join me later in the bulletin for sports.
In this edition, agroforest project signed for Western Province, PNG aged care workers praised, and PNG AFL teams to participate in Pacific Cup. The Great Dreamgas Wawoi Falls project in Western Province will commence soon following the signing of the contract today at the Government House. Signed between the developer Epoca Constructions Proprietary Limited and the Governor General on behalf of the state, this agroforest project will see the construction of a 600-kilometer road while at the same time carrying out selective timber logging and reforestation. Prime Minister James Marape acknowledged the efforts undertaken by the provincial government together with the local landowners to further this project. The contract signing is a huge step in progressing the Great Dreamgas Wawoi Falls project, especially the Trans-Papuan Highway. Prime Minister James Marape, in commending the efforts of Western Regional Member Thabo Yoto and his administration, attributed the delay in the delivery of this project to systematic impediments and non-focus by national agencies on key value areas of agroforest projects.
This project entails unlocking one of the remotest parts of our country. It incorporates harvesting of forestry in a sustainable manner, incorporates agriculture project, as well as over 300 kilometers of road, seal status that ticks off our Connect PNG, the Trans-Papua connection from Kiunga to be facing Kikori.
The project, set to go on for hundreds of years, will be managed properly with proper reforestation and management. While there will be tariff exemptions on imported equipment and materials, the company's board has decided to pay goods and services tax on every material and piece of equipment that is brought into the country, stating that their understanding that this will consolidate revenue for the government.
With when we got the sawmill working and everything, we will have about up to 3,000 people working there.
3,000?
Yeah, up to 3,000 working. The thing harvesting the road and the sawmill, and there will be a lot of work for the people. We're here just about saying everything what we're going to do, and we got 25 years to deliver, and we will deliver 600 kilometers of road, open up the countryside.
The project will be subject for review every 5 years. According to the contract, the state has an option to purchase an additional equity after 15 years. The state is now a 5% shareholder, with another 15% owned by the Fly River Provincial Government and the landowners, with options to increase their equity to 51% after 15 years. The contract further provides for the state to gain total ownership of the project after 25 years. Prime Minister Marape says this is the first agroforest project being undertaken in the country by the state. Goodenough Island's McGill Agro Cooperative Society made history by winning the prestigious Gold Medal Award of Excellence at the 2024 COCO Show of Excellence Southern Region, held on Saturday at Alotau's Alice Wedega Park. The award, presented during the National Cocoa Sampling and Tasting Competition, was a proud moment for the island community, who celebrated the victory with traditional dances and chants of Siule Lakaina, meaning thank you in their language.
In the competition, a panel of 5 international and national judges evaluated 107 COCO samples over 3 days, ultimately narrowing the section to 31 entries in 3 award categories: certificates of recognition, achievement, and excellence. A judge, Luke Spencer from Spencer COCO in Australia, praised the high quality of PNG COCO, noting significant improvements observed over his 4 years of involvement. Judge Catherine Ninix of Nunu Chocolates in Arab encouraged cocoa farmers to adopt family-centered farming and urge award winners to aspire to create world-class cocoa products like chocolate and cocoa liquor. Albert Nukutu, chairman of the Cocoa Board of PNG, closed the ceremony by emphasizing PNG reputation for high-quality cocoa with an 80% fine favor rating and called on farmers to keep improving to reach new international standards. Accepting the award, Vice Chairman Moses Joshua of Migu Agro Cooperative thanked the Good Enough community and encouraged further cocoa expansion from the current 25 hectares to 100 by 2027. He attributed the win to dedication and love for the craft, inspiring all cocoa growers across PNG. Silver was awarded to Stephen Niglek of Medang, with a bronze award was shared by Gibbshill Cooperative of West New Britain and William Valanoon of East New Britain. Member for Alota, Ricky Morris, handed over the baton spear to East Sepik Agriculture Executive Kevin Howin, marking East Sepik as the host for the 2026 Cocoa Show of Excellence. The event ended with praises as one of the best shows in recent years, showcasing PNG's exceptional cocoa quality.
Papua New Guineans working in the aged care sector under the Labour Mobility Programme in Australia have been praised for being good ambassadors of the country abroad. PNG Labour Mobility Unit Director Harry Hakawa heaped praises on Papua New Guineans working in this space after she received positive feedback from the Australian employers during a Labour Mobility Roadshow in Australia early this year.
In a positive feedback for PNG, the Labour Mobility Unit has been told that PNG workers working in the aged care sector in Australia have taken encouragement and advice seriously and have worked well in this sector. Director of PNG LMU, Harry Hakawa, was satisfied with this feedback, recalling her words to the workers during a roadshow held earlier this year.
The feedback from the employers are just amazing, and it just made us really proud. They look at a lot of them have come and into country, and they hesitated a little bit, but then when we started sending workers, we don't send. When we started, it wasn't large numbers. We start off with like 10 or 5. But we've been telling these people that when you go over, you are our ambassadors. You create the legacy, you start the process. So you need to be able to demonstrate that you're really good citizens, you're ambassadors of this country. So when they go over, they are the ones who's going to give the employer another chance of saying that, okay, these are good workers, I'm going back to Papua New Guinea. We've been getting really, really good responses.
Hakawa added that recently an Australian employer in the aged care space was looking to recruit aged care workers from the Solomon Islands and Vanuatu, however reached out to her team to provide 50 workers, which is 50% of the recruitment to Papua New Guineans.
We sent 30 people, 30 girls, 2 men, and the rest are women, into Australia in the aged care space. They are our shining stars, they are our champions, and they have created a good relationship for us. So we're hearing really good stories from our employers. Yeah.
During the recent PNG Australia Expo, Minister for Treasury Ian Ling-Starkey shared that the support from development partners continue to contribute towards PNG citizens to be prepared and equipped to be confident, to live, work and interact with people of different cultures, religion, and race. Such preparation includes training on financial literacy, numeracy, and literacy and conflict resolution skills, life skills and time management, vision setting, and many more. Jasmine Rajak, TVWAN News.
Meantime, Hakawa revealed that the PNG Labour Mobility Unit is working to increase the number of country liaison officers in Australia. They will work with the PALM workers, creating an environment where PNG workers can have a safe space to air their concerns.
Currently we have 2 country liaison officers. They're based in Australia. Right now around the Brisbane area, Queensland area, we intend to increase the number. So these 2 ladies that are currently there, we send them out to work with employers and to work with workers. We always give out their numbers out to all the workers. If you get into trouble, like, English is not our first language. So you call these ladies if there's issues that you're faced with. They are always there on call, just so that they talk to workers, they settle them down, they do everything. And we're also including our Foreign Affairs Department through the heads of mission in Brisbane or in Canberra, and the consuls in Brisbane, in Cairns and in Sydney. So we're getting them on board to be our eyes and ears, and to be the ears that listen to issues that come up. So we do address a lot of their issues when they have that. And when we do travel, we have also our leaders going down. They sit down with our workers, have a chat with them, encourage them to work hard, encourage them to know that they have a goal, they have a vision, and work towards the vision. So we have those processes in place that we use.
Kairuku MP Peter Isoaimo is the Vice Minister for Works and Highways. Sworn in today at the Government House, the MP's elevation was witnessed by Prime Minister and members of his cabinet. Kairuku Member of Parliament Peter Isoaimo today was sworn in as Vice Minister for Works and Highways at the Government House, Port Moresby. Prime Minister Marape, in attendance to witness this event, described the MP as a strong advocate for the rehabilitation of the Hiritano Highway. It was to this tune that Prime Minister announced the approval of the final 2 contracts for the Hiritano Highway Rehabilitation Project.
3-4 years from today, the highway would have been completely restored, and it will uplift and carry business, commerce and people that will feed into Gulf. As most of us know, Gulf is strategic, carries PNG LNG, has Papua LNG, Pasca LNG and others coming on board.
The appointment of MP Isoaimo follows the appointment of 7 vice ministers just recently.
Vice Ministry, an important stepping stone, breeding ground. He has humbled himself to accept his role, especially to assist not just in the west of Sydney through Hiritano Highway facing him, but more importantly, as our focus on opening up our country with key enabling infrastructures, especially roads, bridges, and highways. So, with his experience and strong advocacy for development in all parts of our country, I'm happy he will assist the Works Minister and myself getting things done in that sector.
The appointments are vital to the national government, said to be essential to providing assistance to the ministers in order to deliver expected outcomes. 2 murder suspects surrendered to police on Sunday, October 27th, following a week-long search by police for allegedly killing 4 people from Goilala district in Central Province. The week-long police operation was led by the Central Police and the Mobile Squad unit from McGregor Barracks.
The suspects, believed to be from Mondo village in Goilala Central Province, surrendered to the police following a week-long operation by Central Police and a Mobile Squad unit from McGregor. The police officers were deployed by Central Provincial Police Commander Chief Inspector Joseph Saleh, following 3 deaths from Mondo village and 1 death from Yumu and Aidu villages following a tribal fight between the villages last month. Police arrived on the scene on Saturday last week and successfully negotiated with village leaders to identify suspects involved in the 4 killings. PPC Saleh, who was present to receive the suspects, thanked the community leaders and the people of Mondo village for working in collaboration with the police, resulting in the surrendering of the suspects. Saleh said the surrender of the two suspects is a good sign that the community wants to see change. Local leader George Gussi thanked the police for their time and for engaging in a successful operation. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
You're watching TV1 News. We'll be back with the day's other stories after the break.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bunyamyumi.
Open nets.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, P&G and Mia. Find P&G made.
Quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in P&G and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier but you like it more.
The month of October is dedicated to raising awareness on breast cancer and the importance of early detection and is often called Pinktober. A lay firm has joined the global Pinktober campaign by hosting a women's event at the Lay Yacht Club on Saturday evening.
A ladies' Pinktober cocktail was hosted at the Lay Yacht Club on the evening of Saturday, October the 26th by Alpha Insurance. Women from the private sector in Lay gathered to enjoy an evening together and listen to testimonies from a cancer survivor and a carer. Lay branch manager of Alpha Insurance, Caroline Kahai, outlined that this is a part of the company's dedication to raising awareness about breast cancer. Kahai further said the testimonies from the cancer survivor and carer were meant to shift perspectives and highlight the importance of community support. The International Atomic Energy Agency has put breast and cervical cancer as the most prevalent form of cancer in Papua New Guinea, followed by oral, liver and prostate cancer. The PNG Cancer Relief Society emphasizes that cancer is curable when presented early to the hospital. Everyone deserves to know that cancer can be cured when it is detected and treated in its early stages. Jasmine Rojak, TV1 News.
Australia and the National Department of Education recently provided literacy training to over 900 early grade teachers in Anga province aimed at improving teaching methods in reading, writing and English speaking. Held at Holy Trinity Teachers College and led by Billum Books, the week-long program equipped teachers with engaging strategies for young learners. Anga Elementary Coordinator Simon COCO praised the teachers' dedication, noting the training's importance for educational quality. Teachers like Margaret Manda and Pai Kipala highlighted the program's practical benefits, especially for overcoming challenges in rural classrooms. At the recent Billum Festival on COCO Island, Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Belden Nama, said tourism is a sustainable economic activity that the government should be prioritizing in the country. He said it has a huge revenue turnover and could potentially elevate the currency. The minister was guest of honor at this year's event and was honored to be part of this women empowerment initiative that not only embraces local culture and tradition but provides a platform for economic activities to thrive.
The Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Belden Nama, has identified for the people of COCO Island opportunities to enhance their tourism efforts through the traditions and culture for preservation purposes and sustenance, also in a trying economic environment. He encouraged them to partner with the National Cultural Commission and register the Billum Festival as well as the Coconut Festival, which the minister says must be promoted extensively.
We got an area where government must put in money. Development inside the country. All people already work. Only ready to sustain life probably. One plan Islam tourism. Man lo place no need lo big na sabe. Lo involve lo tourism art na culture.
The Sangapain mothers were encouraged to keep at their craft of billow making. The minister said their art is a tourism product. He also urged them to look at other potential tourism products, including guest houses and sightseeing activities. Minister Nama challenged the government to modernize infrastructure on COCO Island to drive the local tourism industry. These include wharves and bridges to enable access for visitors. As support towards the festival, the minister committed a 300,000 kina to the committee, 10,000 kina to the women participants of the festival. The Sumkar MP gave 20,000 kina to the committee, while a 30,000 kina contribution from the governor for NCD was presented as well. Governor Poes Pakop, who was invited to the Billum Festival, could not make the trip. Minister Nama then made a commitment of 100,000 kina towards the Coconut Festival. Minister Nama was presented with the largest COCO-made Billum by the local women and promised to have it displayed in the National Museum in Port Moresby. Jasmine Irujak, TVWAN News.
The House Tumbuna, or the Medan Visitors Tourism and Cultural Bureau, is a hub of information and the focal point for tourist destination, rich history and artifacts of the province. A visit by the Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture has brought to light issues and challenges that have prevented the Bureau from fully functioning, most importantly promoting and boosting the tourism sector in the province.
The House Tumbuna, or the Medan Visitors Tourism and Cultural Bureau, is the hub of information and the focal point for tourist destination, rich history and artifacts of the province. Medan, once known as the Pearl of the Pacific, is one multilingual, diverse province in the country. Host to more than 240 languages out of 800 or more languages in the country, and adorned with rich cultures, traditions, and scenic tourist destinations. However, the House Tumbuna is struggling to maintain its image of Medan province. A recent visit by the Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture has resulted in some good things to come for the Bureau and Medan tourism. Along on the tour with Minister Nama was Vice Petroleum Minister and member for Sumkar, Alex Suguman, the Medan Governor's First Secretary, Francis Tavatuna,
and PNG party members. MVTCB Acting Director Joanne Arek, in a presentation, highlighted the Bureau's major challenges to the minister, including no vehicle to promote or coordinate product visitations, lack of human resources, funding constraints, and land issues with illegal occupants. Minister Nama listed how he would start supporting the Bureau, which included 100,000 kina in funding support, a vehicle to help with logistics, and settle land issues with compensation and eviction. Minister Nama also indicated that in every province, there should be a museum at cultural bureaus. He assured Ms. Arek that the Bureau would receive renovation and maintenance with proper air-conditioned units installed with lighting so the artifacts are better protected. Ruth Rungula, TV1 News.
The newly built Metorea Health Center at Poreporena, Hanuabada village today received a new ambulance which will be manned by the National St. John Ambulance as part of the ambulance fleet and will serve the Motu Koitabu people in the nation's capital. The ambulance is a Toyota Land Cruiser donated by ExxonMobil at a cost of 250,000 kina.
A memorandum of agreement was signed today at the Metorea Health Center between the NCD Provincial Health Authority and St. John Ambulance Service to have an ambulance to complement the health services delivered for the Motu Koitabu people through the health center, which is built on customary land. Chief Executive Officer for St. John Ambulance, Commissioner Matt Cannon, said delivery of the ambulance signifies the ambulance service getting closer to the community.
Hopefully result in quicker care for people in their time of need. We know that during the busy period of the day, we get more calls for help than we do have ambulances available to help people. And placing the ambulances closer to communities means that when someone calls for help, we're more likely to be there in a time frame that we desire.
Acting CEO of NCD Provincial Health Authority, Dr. Robin Oge, emphasized that the signed MOA ensures that there is an ambulance stationed at the Metorea Clinic.
This agreement here that is being signed in St. John, stationed here to move patients to Pomgen, ensures that we have a referral pathway to Pomgen for our patients here. And that works well with last week we had a 2 days workshop with Pomgen to align our services, and this plays well into that strategy.
Dr. Oge elaborated that NCDPHA is the mandated government authority delivering health services to the people of NCD, and the Motu Koita areas are a significant part of the NCD. Chairman of Motu Koitabu and Deputy Governor Daddy Toka Jr. acknowledged ExxonMobil for this vital resource. Frida Kana, TV1 News.
The Legal Training Institute opened its 25th Civil and Criminal Advocacy Workshop yesterday in Port Moresby. The week-long workshop, which began yesterday, will end on Friday, November 1st, and is being facilitated by the Victorian Bar Association.
The Legal Training Institute's 25th Civil and Criminal Advocacy Workshop opened yesterday and will mainly focus on the advocacy skills of trainee lawyers, especially courtroom advocacy skills. The workshop will look at how the trainees represent their clients in court. These include how loud they can speak, how they stand at the bar table, and how they conduct themselves in the courtroom in terms of arguments. According to the Acting Director for Legal Training Institute, Angeline Aranda, the structure form of the delivery of the Victorian Bar Workshop started back in 2000 under the leadership of the late director, Pauline Morgish. She said LTI is grateful for the long-standing relationship that it has with the Victorian Bar Association and the Australian government in their commitment to the development and upskilling of future lawyers of this country. And some of these lawyers have ended up being leaders in their own right.
You have a very highly qualified trainers to be delivering this course, especially this week. Who flew all the way from Victoria. Make the time worth it. Basically, you need to give 100% and probably 110% into this training also, and it's for your benefit.
Meanwhile, the PNG Law Society president, Hubert Namani, urged the trainees to take advantage of the training and learn as much as they can, because once they are admitted to the bar, they will face many challenges.
You're going to come out and practice at a time of this digital age. You know, the law is online. Clients have access to AI, the different AI tools out there. So as we're trying to catch up with the digital change and transformation, this week is an opportunity to take advantage of that and listen to some of the best practitioners in Victoria.
Meanwhile, the second component of the program, Local Bar, will be held from the 4th to the 8th of November and will conclude with the intensive advocacy moot from the 11th to the 22nd November.
And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2535 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2460, $0.3710 Australian dollars, $0.2200 euro, and 37.42 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, all closed higher except crude oil, which closed the day lower, and copper closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. This is TV1 News. Overseas news is next. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Enjoying life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot in talk, young or old, a scale family meal we're told. We'll bring out the smiles cause it's our favorite from us. Tennessee Cola, scale rise, don't scale price. Tennessee Cola, scale rise, don't scale price. Amber, you like it?
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Add the COCO, get up a big smile on face. Time for give chicken a great fumu too. Sip, sip, the mumu, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
In its first 10 years, the PNG LNG project has had a long-lasting impact, contributing more than 26 billion kina to the state of Papua New Guinea. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
These two are creeping into your personal space. Why don't we send them packing? Oh, maybe not.
Bing bang bing. Bum, bum.
Welcome back. The uptake of green technologies such as electric vehicles and wind turbines is driving a push to source key materials in Australia. But the potentially lucrative economic opportunity has also revived an old debate about the impact of mining in rich and plentiful farming lands.
Limestone Coast is one of the state's agricultural powerhouses, but for Ken Turner, his mixed farming property has attracted the interest of mining companies hunting for rare earth elements.
They believe there are viable quantities of mineral under the ground here.
Mr Turner's property lies within a 20 square kilometre area earmarked for potential mining. The fledgling Copper project is part of a wave of development aimed at digging up the rare earth elements needed to build electric vehicles and wind turbines.
We see a great opportunity for Australia to develop the rare earth industry. It's a potential to provide jobs and investment.
Most of the world's rare earths come from China, but the push is on to develop a local industry to supply Australia's trading partners.
So I see South Australia's role is actually potentially being that trusted, secure supply of these resources.
The environmental credentials of the Copper project are still being assessed, and any potential mining here is still several years away. But local producers are concerned about the potential impacts on this rich agricultural land. An opposition group, chaired by farmer Todd Woodard, is concerned about how any future mine here would be rehabilitated.
Getting the macro minerals back in there, the phosphorus and that sort of thing is one thing. Putting the biology back in there is completely different.
While Ken Turner shares some of the group's concerns, he's waiting for more information.
We value our soils, we value our water, we value the environment we live in, so we will be looking very closely when they have a proposal.
A critical issue for Australia's food and financial security.
Queensland's new parliament is taking shape and it includes a number of fresh faces. It's one for the record books with the state's first Muslim woman elected at the weekend.
Of brand new parliamentarians, among them Bisma Asif, making history.
I'm not only the first Muslim but the first Punjabi. My background's Pakistani as well.
The 28-year-old has won the northern Brisbane seat of Sandgate for Labor. Miss Asif migrated from Pakistan when she was 8 years old, speaks 4 languages and has 2 degrees. Aspiration drew her to politics.
The reason I got involved in politics was to make sure I could make a difference in people's lives.
For Russell Field, it was tragedy. His son Matthew, daughter-in-law Kate Ledbetter and unborn grandson Miles were killed when they were hit by a stolen car in 2021.
We said at the time when Matt and Kate were killed, and Miles, that their deaths can't be in vain. Something good has to come out of this.
The 69-year-old is likely to win Capalaba for the LNP after campaigning on law and order.
When somebody's jailed for 6 years for killing 3 people, there's something seriously wrong with the system.
At 22 years old, Ariana Doolan could soon be the youngest woman ever elected to state parliament. She's on track to win another Labor-held seat for the LNP, Palmerstone in Moreton Bay.
I don't believe age determines leadership capability, and we saw that with Wyatt Roy at 19. He was elected to federal parliament.
In central Queensland, the LNP's Donna Kirkland has claimed victory in Labor heartland, winning Rockhampton.
We have a community that are awake to the previous government having failed us on all levels.
Labor now has the majority of its seats in the southeast, including Ipswich West, which the ALP's Wendy Bourne has won back for the party after a surprising loss at a by-election earlier this year.
I just want to make sure that because Ipswich is growing so rapidly, that we get all the funding that we deserve.
The homelessness crisis is forcing more families to live in temporary accommodation while they wait for long-term housing. Figures show there are more than 45,000 people on Queensland's social housing register, despite a new report finding affordable and secure housing is critical to families' well-being.
7 weeks pregnant, Nikki packs her hospital bag, ready for the arrival of her 5th baby. But unlike previous births, the 34-year-old hasn't been able to set up a nursery or plan for the months ahead because she's homeless.
Nerve-wracking. Yeah, it's very scary. It kicks my anxiety in.
Nikki and her children became homeless 2 years ago after the owners of her private rental decided to sell. She couldn't find suitable housing on income support and no longer had help from her partner nor her brother, who died within weeks of each other.
I would rather workers over, which I find a bit funny because settling income with children especially, that's a guaranteed income, like you could lose your job any day.
She's been living in a motel provided by social welfare group Micah Projects.
I'm not the only person in this position, so there's people out there that need houses before I do.
Frontline organisations in Queensland have been working with an international expert on ways to combat homelessness, drawing on effective measures used throughout the COVID-19 pandemic.
Really bringing together all of these community actors in the kind of urgent problem-solving team formation that they kind of naturally assemble into if there's a clear crisis.
It comes as a new report reveals secure and affordable housing are critical factors influencing the well-being of families.
It was the resource that they needed to be able to care for the children in a way that they wanted to, but in a way that they were unable to when they were insecurely housed.
For people like Nikki, her future is still unclear while she waits for long-term accommodation.
And that ends the news segment. Jasmine will be back with sports after these short messages.
Rugby league is a powerful force that unites Papua New Guinea and develops our youth. Through partnerships with the PNG LNG Kumals, Grassroots Rugby League and Justin Olam, we aim to instill skills to last a lifetime.
I'm community blue. When it's a new game, I'm a community. You must all community.
When we invest in people, we invest in tomorrow's possibilities.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You be holy, man, no walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With money plus we're ready to go.
Kumul Petroleum is a major regional petroleum industry player involved in large-scale upstream, midstream and downstream petroleum and energy developments in the country. We are committed to ensuring that Papua New Guineans maximize benefits from the petroleum and energy sector.
What a start it'll be for them to get underway, almost handed to them.
That's absolutely brilliant. Can he finish? Oh, you bet he can.
Thanks for staying with us. The PNG Peppers team will host an upcoming international friendly against the Brisbane Wildcats in Port Moresby from November the 29th to December the 1st. The match will be held at the Sir John Guy's Indoor Stadium. This friendly match is an opportunity for the PNG Peppers to showcase their competitiveness against a tough Brisbane Wildcats. AFL PNG Talents Academy is excited to announce the Under-17 Binatangs male and Kurakum female for next month's AFL Pacific Cup at the Sunshine Coast, Queensland, Australia. Both teams are made up of mostly players from Port Moresby, Lae, Kimbe and Mount Hagen. Training programs have been sent out to players from outside centres to familiarise themselves, which would make it easier for the teams as a whole when they come together in Pond this week. The PNG Binatangs is coached by David Topeni, while the Kurakum's coach is Dominic Warrior.
The Under-17 Binatangs has a good mix of current and new players ready to take the big stage when the inaugural AFL Pacific Cup gets underway at the Sunshine Coast from November 14 to 18 ahead of the seniors tournament. Binatang coach David Topani said they are fortunate to have retained some experienced players who participated in last year's Oceania Cup and the Tri-Nation Cup in Cairns early this year. He said they are expected to lead the boys. Likewise, for the Kurakums, Topani said some girls have also played at international levels already and should help them with their confidence and leadership.
We got few experienced boys that played last year Oceania Cup in Fiji and leading up with the Tri-Nation in Cairns as well. So we got a couple of good number of boys ready to take lead and bring the Under-17 boys down for the Pacific Cup coming up next month. Also the girls as well. Lots of them, they already have the junior representative duty already, so it's not new to them. They're prepared for it and get up for the tour coming up.
With regards to the team's lead-up training and their focus for the tour, Topani said both boys and girls have been training very well at their respective centres and should be flying in to join the rest of the squad in Port Moresby this week.
Boys and girls looking forward for the tour coming up. They've been working really hard for past 3 months now and then getting themselves prepared. Not only kids from Port Moresby, we also got kids from outside centres will fly in next week and following week. We got 3 weeks left to prepare for that. All the other kids are ready to travel into Port Moresby from Lae, Mount Hagen, West New Britain, East New Island as well. So we got a couple of good young boys and girls from other centres flying in to be part of the national team.
He also reveals the group's plan after the Pacific Cup.
We have one last tour coming up on December. That's 15th. So they will be in Fiji, Suwa to play for the Oceania Cup. So the under 14s and 15s are still in training in preparation for the December last tour coming up as well. But our focus is to get the other 7s prepared for the first ever Pacific Cup coming up. So,
Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
PNG Orchids young outside back Jenny Wesley has been promoted to the top 21 playing squad that will face the Kiwi Ferns this Sunday at the Santos National Football Stadium. Wesley has had a strong season and featured in the Prime Minister's 13 match earlier this month after playing in the Santos Cup Grand Final with Goroka Lahanis. The Orchids were struck a blow with versatile back Latonia Norris-Addo, assisted from the field with an ACL injury in the loss against Australian Jillaroos. When announcing the change this week, Orchids coach Tani Norris said Latonia's injury has opened the door for Jenny to come into the Pacific Championship squad and put her in line to make her Orchids debut. Other squad changes see Orchid Shea Yvonne De La Cruz, number 25, and Therese Ayton, number 31, come into the 21-player Pacific Championship squad, replacing Frida Waula, and Frida Anthony. The 22nd edition of the annual National Capital District Governors Cup Challenge is scheduled to kick off in December, with approximately 64 men's and 12 women's teams anticipated to compete for the 2024-2025 title. Registration is open from November the 1st to the 30th at the Connie Tigers Oval. NCD's Suburban Sports Foundation Chairman Billy Aki is now calling on interested teams to pay their registration in full before the competition kicks off on December the 9th.
Naming rights sponsor and NCD Governor Cup, being a passionate rugby league supporter, is big in advocating for fair play and promotes and encourages human resources development through sport at the grassroots level. Billy Aki and his working committee are grateful for Governor Cup's constant support from its humble beginnings 22 years ago. Aki said it's first come, first serve, and only 64 teams will qualify to vie for the 20,000 kina on offer. Further cash incentives will be introduced for the two teams losing in the NCD Governors Cup semi-finals, with another 10,000 kina split between the losing teams to compensate for their effort and commitment even if they don't qualify for the cup decider. Aki said because of this, the registration fees will increase this year. He further stressed they will not accept more than 64 teams as they only have 3 venues available: Kone Tigers, EP Pakohola, and Giri Sports Oval. In a related call, Aki is strongly appealing to the GB Dogs and Bulldogs and Barra Folks to settle their outstanding 2,000 fine from last year's Governors Cup to be eligible to participate this year. He further warned those clubs that the competition management knows all the team management and players, and they cannot register under different name or play for different clubs until they settle their fines. Aki also announced that apart from Rugby League, NCD Governors Cup soccer tournament will also be introduced under the NCD Suburban Sports Foundation Christmas program this year. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The Port Moresby Corporate Volleyball Masters is set to compete at the 2024 Pan-Pacific Masters Games. The Port Moresby Corporate Volleyball Club Masters team completed their final training sessions and are geared up for the event. The games are scheduled to run from November the 1st to 12th in Gold Coast, Australia. 24 dedicated members of the POM Corporate Volleyball will participate. The team will showcase their skills in 3 competitive categories: Women's 35+, Women's 40+, and Mixed 40+. Fielding a team in the Masters Games marks a significant milestone for POM CVC, underscoring its commitment to fostering lifelong fitness and competitive spirit. Santos have announced their continued naming rights sponsorship of Papua New Guinea's national women's rugby league team, the Orchids. The formality of the sponsorship took place Friday, October the 25th, 2024 at the rugby league capital, National Football Stadium, Port Moresby.
The 3-year sponsorship investment by Santos begins this year and will also cover for the junior and school rugby league development programs, technical coaching and support staff, travel and accommodation, and international fixtures for the Orchids, such as the current Pacific Championships leading up to the World Cup in 2026. Santos Country Chair, PNG, Leon Baskin, said Santos was proud to be associated with the women's game in PNG as an advocate of women's empowerment and in line with its values in building a better future.
We are confident. We want to be partners to the game. As we always say, it's beyond just Santos branding here. It's beyond that. It's about a statement. It's about promoting women's game. It's about recognizing that 50% of our population are women and girls, and all those values behind it. So it's recognizing that. So our 3-year sponsorship extension, as CEO said, it comes into the next World Cup 2026. And hopefully the 2026 will be like a few World Cup away. We'll have the opportunity to host some of the games like we did in 2018.
Santos has been leader in elite women's rugby league in PNG, starting with their sponsorship in 2017 under Oil Search, when the first ever Orchids team was selected. This year, Santos became the naming rights sponsor to the first ever national women's competition, the Santos Cup. CEO for PNG RFL, Stanley Hondina, was grateful for Santos being such a great supporter of women's games.
all the women game that we've been doing and everything in the women's space. Without Santos and the partnership that we're having, all this wouldn't be possible. So just want to extend our gratitude and thank you to Leon, extend our thanks to the board of Santos and your respective team, extending our great appreciation of that support that they put into the game. We're looking at working together with them and giving them the value for money in the social, economical space of the country and of our people. And that's a commitment that we stand side by side.
The Santos PNG Orchids are currently taking part in the Pacific Cup Championships against Australia and New Zealand. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that ends the sports segment. We'll now have the weather forecast with Maricela.
Southern, Port Moresby partly cloudy with inland showers and thunderstorm. Daru, some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Alotau and Popondetta, cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Omase, Lae, some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Wewak, mostly cloudy with possible rain. Vanimo, partly cloudy. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau, cloudy with periods of rain showers. Kokopo, Rabaul, some rain showers. Highlands, Mount Hagen, mostly cloudy with chances of few showers. Mendi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy with afternoon rain showers. Coral Sea, seas moderate to rough with east to southeast winds of 15 to 33 knots. Solomon Sea, seas smooth with east to southeast winds of 5 to 10 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas light to moderate with southeast to east winds of 5 to 15 knots, increasing to 20 knots over the northwest sector. And Pacific Ocean, seas light with northeast winds of 5 to 10 knots. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands to Kerema to Yule Island to Hood Point to Samarai Islands, seas 0.5 to 2 meters. Waters of Samarai Island to Cape Bogle and all Milling Bay Islands. Waters of Finchafen through Vitia Strait to CSA Long Island. Waters of Medan to Wewak to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border. And waters of West New Britain, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Cape Bogle to Hohen Gulf to Finchafen, waters of New Ireland to East New Britain, and waters of Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1 meter. And waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. And that ends this edition of news. Have a pleasant evening. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.